Hey everybody, welcome back. And I've been using the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL for a little over a month now, and there are things that I like and I don't like, but for this video, I want to talk about 5 reasons why I love this phone. Let's get right into it. This is simply the best phone camera I have ever used. It is just absolutely amazing. It's relatively the same as the previous generation, but with a few minor improvements. Well, at least for the rear camera. The selfie camera has made a significant upgrade this year with a new 42 megapixel camera. Here are some photos that I took while with my wife over at Disney World Hollywood Studios. I took it with the front and the back in a variety of situations. Let me know down below what you think.
Alright, so in a fighting team, taking a punch is just as important as throwing one. Yeah, that was great, Spence. Let's throw another one. Now, as you can see, you can get incredibly hurt if you don't have the right timing. Yes, Spencer, that was awesome! And, well, they don't care. Okay. Now let's get some more attention. Let's go. See, it takes guts. Coordination. Turn your level head.
So, needless to say, this camera is awesome. Now, just as Google has recharged some excitement into the cameras, something that we no longer have to think about, at least as much, is, well, recharging. And that's thanks to Google finally fixing the horrible battery life issues with the Pixel devices. This has been a major gripe of mine for many years. I've owned many Pixels before starting this YouTube channel, and the one thing that was always bad every single year was the battery life. Well, not anymore. The battery life on the Pixel 9 Pro XL is incredible. Now, the battery size only went up by 10 milliamp hours, so it's not like Google slapped a big new battery in the 9 series. The one thing that did change, however, was the chip, going from Google Tensor G3 to the G4. And I mean, it didn't really increase the efficiency that much. It was pretty minimal, but it did help the battery life significantly. I'm getting around 9 to 10 hours of screen on time with the Pixel 9 Pro XL, which is amazing because I am not a light user. I use this thing to watch a whole lot of YouTube videos and TV shows, movies, take a bunch of photos, record a lot of video, and more. And it doesn't appear I am the only one getting this kind of battery life. So expect to get similar results if you purchase this Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Good job, Google. I can't wait to see what you do with the Pixel 10 series to improve the battery life even more. Just like what you did with the overall design and build quality of this phone. This is another thing that Pixel series phones have always struggled with since its first official Pixel phone. The Pixel 1 had issues with the accelerometer, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth connectivity issues. The Pixel 2 had insane issues with washed out displays. The Pixel 3, well, had a little bit of a, let's just say, forehead issue. The Pixel 4 had just a garbage battery life. The Pixel 5 had that gap between the body and the display that was, quote, a normal part of the design of your Pixel 5. Then you had the Pixel 6, which came with a completely new redesign, which was welcomed, but it also had overheating problems and issues with the fingerprint sensor that was under the display. The Pixel 7 had pretty much the same issues as the 6, and the Pixel 8 carried over the same issues as well. Now, we get to the Pixel 9 Pro XL. It's like everything was finally fixed. For example, the display is absolutely immaculate, vivid, and extremely bright at a peak of 3000 nits of peak brightness. Also, Google addressed the overheating issues by adding a new vapor chamber. And while I had only a few issues with my Google Pixel 8 Pro, I have had zero issues when it comes to overheating with my Pixel 9 Pro XL. It also now has an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor like the S24 Ultra that is way more accurate than the old optical fingerprint sensor that they have used since the Google Pixel 6 Pro. And also, they fixed the poor battery life like we mentioned before. And overall, it just feels like a true flagship. The only things that I would personally change is to swap the polished aluminum frame for a nice clean titanium frame and implement a similar anti-reflective coating that they have on the display of the S24 Ultra. Oh, and stop making the base storage start at 128 gigabytes. Come on, Google, you're so close. But anyways, I am loving this redesign, and I think Google did an incredible job on the build quality and design. It is anything but vanilla, but what is vanilla is Google's software experience, and that's a good thing. I love the stock Pixel software. Does it give you the most customization options? I mean, no, but there is something pleasing about having a simplified and clean, fluid software like Android 15. Just going through the UI is incredible. It's smooth, the animations are subtle and clean, and using it just feels better than using other Android phones, at least in my personal opinion. It feels like a much snappier iPhone. I'm just being honest. Also, there are a ton of perks that you can only get with Pixel devices. This video isn't to describe each one with great detail, but I want to mention the ones that I personally use on a regular basis. The first has to be call screening. I use this thing like 2 to 3 times a day. Here's the thing, I get calls from people that I need to talk to me that I don't necessarily have saved in my phone. So I also get a whole bunch of scam calls asking me about my extended warranty or when I can go get them Google Play gift cards to provide to them to repay my debt. Call screening has served as an invaluable filter to sift through the important calls and the scammers. I love this feature, and it's a main reason that I primarily use the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL as my main daily phone, even if I still consider the S24 Ultra to be the best overall phone of 2024. Next is the live translate. So for those who don't know, I'm actually bilingual. I lived in Mexico for a time and am fluent in Spanish, and my household is a Spanish-speaking household. But, fun fact for you, I actually failed Spanish 2 in high school, so go check out my Spanish tech channel. It's called Gritino, and subscribe if you want to follow me there. Sometimes when I'm talking with somebody from a different country that also speaks Spanish, Live Translate is so freaking cool. I can have it activated and it automatically translates the Spanish on my screen. A good example of this is in the app WhatsApp, when I'm talking with somebody in Spanish. It does it so seamlessly and accurately. I love this feature. The last thing I use the most is Magic Eraser. Other phones offer similar options, but none do it better than Google's Magic Eraser. It is quick, easy, and does an incredible job removing people or objects from an image, and does so in a way that doesn't make it so obvious. It's so good that my wife, who is the iPhone fan of the family, sends me her photos she needs me to remove things, and I send them back to her from my Android phone. Apple has this in iOS 18, but at least in the beta, I really wasn't that impressed. Hopefully that gets better in the future. Speaking of the future, Gemini is here. Now, right off the bat, there is one significant downside. If you want all the features that Google is advertising, you need to get Gemini Advanced. Now, if you buy a Pixel 9 Pro XL today, you will get Gemini Advanced free for 1 year, but after that, it is $20 a month. But for now, let me share my 2 favorite features of Gemini that I use the most. First is using Google Gemini to summarize articles and videos. I use this feature all the time. I notice that the older I get, the less time I have to do things because there are always things competing for my time, which is a finite thing. One thing I need to do a lot of is researching topics for my YouTube channels to make sure that I am providing interesting and accurate information. This involves reading a ton of articles and watching a lot of videos. The summarize feature has been invaluable to me. Second is using Google Gemini Live. I thought for sure that this was going to be a gimmick, but it is so cool and useful to use. There are a few downsides that I hope Google fixes in the future. For example, if I'm looking for a direction to a place that Gemini Live recommended, it will give me directions, but it can't open up Google Maps to give me the directions. What is the best hamburger place in St. Augustine, Florida?
123 Burger House is a popular choice in St. Augustine.
Yeah, that
Known for the
works.
creative
Can I get
burger-
directions there? Can you open up Google Maps and give me directions?
So I can't open Google Maps yet when we are live. For now, going live is great for things like chatting, finding answers, or brainstorming new ideas.
Or if I want to write an important email and I'm brainstorming ideas with Google Gemini Live, I can't have it open up my Gmail and help me write it there. Well, at least live. I need to write a very important email to my boss. Can you open up Gmail and help me out?
So I can't open Gmail yet when we are live. For now, going live is great for things like chatting, finding answers, or brainstorming new ideas.
So I'm hoping that in the future we will see at least some kind of Google app integration as a start and then third-party application support. But even with that downside, here is a recent example of a conversation I had about hurricane prep, preparing for Hurricane Milton since I live on the east side of Florida. My wife and I are preparing for a hurricane on the east coast of Florida. What are like 3 things that we need to be prepared for?
All right, here's the deal. You're going to want to be prepared for power outages, heavy rain and wind, and the possibility of needing to evacuate. First, a power outage could last a while, so have flashlights and batteries handy. You'll also want to think about ways to keep food cold without the fridge, like coolers with ice packs. Second, with heavy rain and wind, make sure you've got the basics covered. Board up windows if you can, bring in anything that could get blown around, and secure any outdoor furniture. Finally,
Yeah, I
if
think
there's
I
an
think we're good
evacuation-
with that. I'm really concerned about the storm surge. We're about maybe 10 miles inland. Do you think that will affect us if it's like a Category 3 hurricane?
10 miles inland with a Category 3, you should be mostly okay, but it's really smart to be thinking about this. Storm surge can be unpredictable, especially if the storm changes course at the last minute. You might want to check out the Florida Division of Emergency Management's website or your local news for more specific details on your area. They'll have the most...
So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL and cannot recommend it enough. What do you think? Is there a better phone out there? Let me know in the comments below and hit that like button and subscribe for more. And I will see all of you next time.